What am I supposed to be opening?
I don't know.
Where did we end? Oh, okay.
What?
That's where we ended.
What?
This whole
Last time?
Yeah, this whole keeping notes thing comes in handy.
We ended with you guys deciding on a location for one of the items, and you decided that that was in Ixenmeric, so you're going to head north and attempt to go through the mountains.
Yep. Last thing I have is decided to head north to the mountains and find a way through them to the Black River.
Yes.
So that should be interesting. You know what? I should find my sheet.
Yeah, go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Alright, Boost, I'm trying something different tonight.
Okay.
We're going to be double dipping on the live stream here.
Oh.
So
How are you going to pull that off?
You're going through Google Plus right now, which links to the Dragon Fisters YouTube.
Yes.
I am actually using the new YouTube game streaming channel,
Interesting.
which will thread over to my YouTube channel.
Interesting.
So it's actually kind of awesome.
You probably have more followers than us.
On YouTube, I have just over 1,700.
I don't think we have any. We don't do much on YouTube.
You really don't know. So.
No, we do this. That's it.
If it'll help expand the audience, why not?
We have 4.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm curious.
About what?
Like bi-curious, or?
You wish.
Yeah. No, there's no curious.
I'm curious as to if we have. How do you see if you have subscribers?
You just go onto your own YouTube channel and it should show you.
My channel. No, that's not that.
Or the Dragon Fisters channel.
Yeah, the Dragon Fisters channel. It'll be in the About Me section.
YouTube.com. No, that's not a thing.
Isn't a About Me section?
Yeah.
About.
Well, same thing.
We have 13 subscribers.
I'm pretty sure we encompass like 10 of those.
Wow. And we've had a total of 463 views.
Nice.
I'm impressed. I wonder how many views our very first video had. I bet it's under 10.
I bet you're right.
Everything here is under 10. So
Not my penis length.
that's under 3.
Well, that's true. I
You
just said
have
that it wasn't under 10.
But that makes no sense. Holy crap! We have the video. We have one video that has 247 views.
Wow. Which video?
I will link it in the chat now.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. of all the videos.
Right.
Wait, which one is it? Oh, what the shit. Wow, I don't even like that title. Really? Really? Seriously? You know what?
Yep.
That dog still does that to me.
Seriously?
Yeah. He's still a dick.
That was the very first video we ever posted.
Oh, God. That's how you know you're real YouTubers.
Dude, Kelly is commenting on my hair.
Nah.
Just watch this, dog. He did this to me the other day.
That's true. Okay, is anybody... Okay, so I just happened to glance to the right, and does anybody else have up next Kama Sutra sex positions make doggy style hotter?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Whoa, no, don't automatically go to that. What the shit?
Where? Okay, there we go.
All right, screw it. I'm starting the stream.
Yay! I did. I already did.
Nice.
Yay. Alright, let's go to town. She's not even that attractive.
And who?
Hence the doggy style,
That's true.
Makes sense.
right?
Oh
Right
my
in
god,
there,
and she
there's
has an
two-
awful accent.
Oh, so you actually clicked on it. There's two cats fucking on my stream right now.
And by stream, you mean living room.
Sounds like she's Russian.
I just had Kelly listening. She's like, oh my god, she sounds like a deaf woman.
Mm,
It's awful. I need to erase this from my watch history.
Oof,
palate cleanser.
that's a little rough.
Speaking of doggy style, rough dog.
I got you.
Thank you. So many pages of notes. Okay, there we go. Alright, we have. Mm-hmm. Where is. That's wrong.
Alright. I have everything up now. Yay.
Oh shit. I gotta pull up Obsidian Portal still.
Yeah, I just did that. And looked at my weapon list and cried. Because I still have the Deathless Bow there. I just have Destroyed as one of its
Aw.
descriptions.
It was for a worthy cause.
No, it wasn't.
Don't worry, you have your nice, freshly crafted elven bow now that does absolutely nothing special.
But it's yellow and you and Elven made.
Exactly.
That's special. When was the last time anything from the
Whoa.
elves have been seen around there?
Guys, awesome news. We already got 2 people watching on my end.
You're weird.
2 people are
So-
watching your ass?
It won't last for very long.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
probably
wait a
not.
minute. Are 2 people watching your ass, or are 2 people sitting on your ass while watching the video?
Both.
So there's 4 people total.
Or they're multitasking.
Well, maybe I'll watch too.
Dave, can you fit 3
Dave,
people on
those
your
2 views are you and Kate, aren't they?
Well, no, because the view doesn't count for me because I'm actually on the creator studio end, so it doesn't count me as a viewer.
So it's Kate and your mom.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Are you proud of your big boy? No. Okay.
That was
bye.
gross. Don't say that.
I'm sorry, I just missed the last 5 seconds.
Good.
Can you repeat that for me?
Nope.
Don't worry.
It's
I
already-
never
It's
I have a
already on
recording.
the internet forever. I don't need to repeat it.
That's why I wanted you to repeat it.
No,
That's going to be our outtake. Forever. It's going to be the only one. I'm just going to put that at the end of every single episode.
everyone.
Yep.
Hey, you proud of me now, Mommy?
You proud of your big boy?
That just sounds so awful.
It does.
That's going to be. We're eventually going to have a radio, a studio. We're going to have a
We are?
corporation. Yeah, and you know how like at the end of TV shows they always have the thing like 1 potato, 2 potato, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be
No.
ours. It's gonna say, "Are you proud of your big boy now, Mama?"
She always does compliment him on like his giant head. I don't know if compliment is the right
I'm always
word.
confused.
Oh, dude, by the
Because
way,
she
the other
says your giant head and then points to her crotch and could mean two things. 'Cause-
yeah, which is really weird. But oh, by the way, Dave,
Yes.
Kelly totally called your mom Pat the other day,
Okay.
and I had no idea who she was talking about.
Mhm.
Huh.
Because we were talking about something in regards to you and your mom and everything that, and she was like, "Yeah, no," and Pat said this, blah blah blah, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Pat?"
I think that's just what Kate calls her, like
Like-
outside of like conversation directly to her.
Maybe because I haven't called her anything but Mama I in years.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what her first name was.
Oh shit, we lost both our watchers. Damn it.
That's because we are not playing.
Not
we should
doing
start
anything.
doing that.
That is a good point. We
I have
should
this big
start doing
speech that I still haven't been able to say, so we totally need to play.
that. Wait, speech? A speech?
Yeah.
Oh, before we get started,
What?
everybody.
What is my
may-
boat
every-
broken again?
No, everybody be very quiet as Dave does his fucking intro.
Oh, do you want me to do that right now, or
Yeah.
like, do you want me to record it separate and send you the file, or just do it right now?
Either or.
Okay, and I'm recording for Dorian.
Yes.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Gotta wait for the train to stop passing by outside.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Well, that's a good call.
So was it? This is Dave, and I play Dorian Almax.
Yes.
All right, 1 second. This is Dave.
I had to unmute myself to laugh audibly.
I don't think he's noticed yet.
He really hasn't.
Hasn't.
I apologize. That was just too perfect of a setup,
That was great.
and I don't think he has noticed
Still,
yet.
he's still
Hey,
there. We
Dave.
go.
No,
what's going
because it's on my other monitor, and I can't see it behind my mic. But fuck you, assholes! I was recording the audition anyway.
That was awesome.
Alright, I won't do it again.
Yeah, I'm sure. I was waiting for the little click sound.
Alright, you can go. I really won't do it again.
Oh no, I don't have to. I recorded it already.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I thought Boost was recording it. Oh, okay. Then. Cool.
Yeah, because I trust you assholes to do anything.
Hmm.
We didn't even hear it. So I don't even know how good it was.
Oh, it's epic. It's gonna make all you guys just sound like trash.
As opposed to what?
Yeah, it was almost like one of us is a voice actor and the others aren't. What?
Well, Al, in your defense, you are quite the audio engineer.
Yes, I can turn dials and plug things in.
Hey, that's more than most people could do.
It's more than I can do.
I'm pretty sure you did it the entire time I was gone.
Yeah, but it didn't come out great. At least I finally found out what that clicking sound was way too late in the game.
What was it?
After like eight sessions.
Yeah.
It was, and even I didn't even find out because of the audio. I just found out by going back in my head and doing dates. It was Redford.
Oh, that makes total sense.
When
Alright,
he
sorry.
was-
Speaking of Redford, I just had to jump up and steal a shoe away from him. So what was going on?
Nice. No, it was when you guys first got Redford and he would climb underneath the table.
Oh yeah.
Hitting the cable because there's so much cable. Every time the cable moved, there was a tiny little click sound.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully we have him in a train and play for tomorrow. So
Nice.
hopefully he'll be like exhausted by the time we actually start playing.
There you go. Yeah, and Kelly said that you're gonna you want to record your games too.
Yeah,
So that would be
Yeah, I
nice
was planning on
to
it.
listen to that.
that's actually the main reason why I plan on it.
Okay. All right. I think I am good. I have that. I have that. I have this. I am hoping that this stuff does not crash on me.
I'm hoping you don't burn my bow again.
I didn't burn shit.
That was directed at somebody else.
Hey, I got you the bow. I can take the bow away.
Oh, I should actually sign into Obsidian Portal so that I can alter crap.
Nah. Where's my C drive?
Dude, the dog just jumped off the nice comfy bed and is now laying on the floor next to the bed.
It's probably cooler on the floor.
He's just
good
a
point.
dumbass. Kelly's already asleep. I don't get this. Oh well. Alright, so we good to go.
We are. Alright, so last time you guys gathered the Moonflower Clasp, and hoping that that is the token that you need, and you caught a boat and made it ashore, slightly off course from where you were hoping. There's a lot of background noise coming from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bessie.
I'm muted, so
Weird. Are you locked on my screen then?
I don't know. I chew really loudly even when I'm like drinking, so I'm muted unless I'm talking.
For some reason, you're the only one showing up on my screen. Like you know how in Hangout, all the whoever's talking comes up first.
Hangouts just thinks I'm the sexiest one,
It
so
does.
just has me up.
Well, there we go. I'll stop now. So that's all I
It
got.
might have been me. I was trying to post the link on the G+.
You asshole.
Well, but I closed the video, but then there was still noise. I don't know what happened.
Whatever. It's gone now, and that's what counts. All right, so you guys got the what you hope to be the token that you need, and then you decided after some conversing, decided that you would head north, attempting to go through the mountains to what you believe to be the next spot, which is Ixin Mirik. So off you guys went. Lord of the Rings style helicopter flyover scene. There is the four of you trekking over the fields and the plains at first, with the tall grasses brushing against your knees and all that kind of stuff. And then you soon come to the outskirts of the desert, which is the slightly rocky terrain and a little bit more barren than the plain. And then finally you make your way to the foothills of the mountain, which is this kind of jagged, slate-like rock that carves its way upwards. That you have navigated this before. You have a destination that you are heading to, so it's somewhat easy for you to make your way through. And eventually you do run into the opening that has the four statues that you are very familiar with, and you make your way through that. And soon enough, you are in the passes of the mountains themselves, with the a couple feet of snow piled up on either side, and there is a very well-worn trail that comes up through this, nice and wide and easy to manage at this point. Though you do still have to, you're probably about shin deep in snow, or for Galen, probably about thigh deep at this point. But your armament and accoutrements that you have gotten from the Raven Queen manage to keep you nice and warm and tidy as you make your way up through the mountain. So all told, it's a couple of days in the mountain itself until you finally come to the familiar set of stairs that slightly curve up this cul-de-sac topping at the mountain. And if you remember before, there were some kind of crude buildings and edifices that had been created at the top of this to kind of built around the older structure that had been dismantled at some point. It looks like now you can clearly see as this whole area comes into view that they have built up fairly considerably. There is actually a large permanent structure that sits atop this man-made plateau at the top of the stairs. And Galen, and actually pretty much the rest of you, but mainly Galen, the architecture of this will look very familiar. It has a very Eastern Skaldurna feeling to it.
So as we're trudging, I'm behind everybody else because I'm not breaking through any kind of snow. I'll sort of catch my eye and turn around and be like, hey, that looks Eastern, maybe? Does that look familiar to you guys at all?
I thought we were heading north.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess so. But I mean, the style of the buildings and all looks definitely more Eastern to me, anyway.
I'll take your word for it.
Marm, would you? Well, no, I guess you were living underground. I guess you wouldn't know.
I mean, based on my readings, I mean, absolutely that looks Eastern. Yes, Eastern, absolutely.
And Galen just kind of gives Leo the stink eye a little bit.
He just nods and kind of goes, yeah, you're right, it is.
Nobody says anything. He just kind of shrugs and puts his head back down against the wind and keeps on trucking. How far are the buildings away from where we are?
Well, I mean, at this point, you guys kind of round into the large cul-de-sac area with the staircase curving up to your left. So the buildings are probably about 60 or so feet up, but it's pretty close to where you guys are. It's within very easy sight distance.
Okay. Do we see anything moving around, or flames or anything?
Oh yeah, there's at the base of the staircase there are two braziers that are lit, and also towards the top there is one more larger brazier, plus lining the entrance are two large torches. And you can't see any movement. There aren't really there are only a few windowed areas, and they're more of like arrow slits than an actual window, a little bit wider than an arrow slit. However, you can see that there is probably movement inside, because you do see the flicker of light through the gaps.
Okay.
So it's definitely a well occupied place, or at least currently occupied.
So, Galen, this Eastern architecture, are you familiar with the people who would be creating such things?
Jesse? Is that part of our route that we would travel, or are we more? Yeah, because we're on that side of the Scalderna, right?
Yeah.
And what is it? Just generally um, Eastern in nature. I mean, is it specific to like halflings or humans, or it's just like that part of the continent is
It
more?
is. It's a very human design, though it seems that there's hints of dwarvish influence. Dwarves don't usually tend to work with a lot of woods. However, in terms of just the solid nature of the structures, you can definitely tell a lot of the joints that they use as well harken back to more stone forged techniques.
So like adapted by humans, studying dwarven techniques, but then translating that into like a wood structure.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's mainly what makes up the Scalderna architectural design.
Okay. So yeah, I'll look back up and be like, yeah, I think there's some hints of dwarven structure, but they don't really work in wood. I mean they're stone and all, but it looks like it's been adapted by the humans. Maybe they like it. I don't know. I mean, when we do our circuit with the caravan, we travel all through here, and that looks really familiar to that side of the continent there.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
I mean, I'm assuming that means that there's humans here. It just seems weird that they would have this sort of structure. I mean, unless the people moved from there to here, I guess that's possible.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's maybe.
It's the way that we're going, right? I mean, we gotta check it out, and it's freaking cold out here.
Not really.
Well, I mean, I'm a lot closer to the snow than you are.
Oh, I don't know. Thought it was actually pretty comfortable.
Well, you should come down here and try to walk through this.
I'm gonna like get down on my hands and knees and like crawl. Like, yeah, it's not cold. And then just stand up and keep walking.
Well, Leo, if you keep doing that, that would actually probably help Galen out quite a bit. I mean, obviously with his little legs. I mean, if you plowed a path, I mean, don't just do it for a couple feet. Might as well do it for a while.
So
I'm gonna look behind me real quick and go, do you see any tracks? And then I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna keep walking, and you're actually gonna notice that I'm actually not leaving any footprints in the snow.
when you're on your hands and knees, Galen, he doesn't have to really stoop down because he's kind of short anyway. But he grabs some snow and starts making a snowball directed at Leo. But then when Marmalek makes his comment, it sails past you and smacks him in the shoulder.
What the? Galen. And he pops out of sight, and he shows up on your other side with a handful of snow and just dumps it on your head, and then pops back over next to Leo. And just looks at you and goes, meh.
So he had started to laugh, and then you pop up next to me, and I always forget that you can do that. And when before the snow even hits me, he's just like, ah, fuck! And then when the snow comes in, he just starts like hopping around, like pulling his coat up and like trying to shake the snow out. You son of a bitch!
Dorian's just kind of standing there watching all this, shaking his head, being like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Leo doesn't even notice because he's just continuing to walk forward.
But Galen pretty much just stops and tries to get his shit all squared away.
Alright.
If you guys are done playing grab ass, you want to start going along now?
I have snow in my ass now. You know how cold that shit is?
Yes, I do. I've been around snow often.
Well, I need a minute. And he's like shaking his one leg out, trying to get the snow down the rest of his pants.
Ugh.
All right. It's fine. He's like patting himself down, trying to make sure there's no like lumps or he's not going to be all wet later. I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you guys begin to make your way up the staircase.
Oh, I'm already on the staircase.
Very nice. All right. So once you guys begin to go up the stairs and you finally make it to the top, you see that there is this large pair of, or this large set of wooden double doors inlaid with this iron wooden frame, and a large door knocker on the front that looks like the head of an ogre holding the ring in its mouth. You can actually see that the bottom tusks that kind of come up are what are holding the ring in place, and he has this very kind of aggressive, angry, yet slightly bewildered look on his face.
Is the ring actually in his mouth?
Yes.
I'm gonna reach up and grab the ring.
All right.
Can I like pull it out of his mouth?
Yeah. Well, it's bronze. It's not a real orc. It's not a real ogre head.
You're thinking labyrinth, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the head was like alive, and if I like pulled it out, I could talk to him. I'm trying to think outside the box. Finally. All right. So I'm gonna reach up. I'm gonna kind of like try to like pull it out a little bit, and try to be like, should I knock?
You already have it in your hand. Go for it.
And I'm just gonna like slam it down 3 times.
All right. And it lets go a very deep, resounding knock when you do. And after a few moments, you do eventually hear the kind of clunk of the door being unlocked on the other side, and it eventually begins to get pulled open, kind of scraping the ground a little bit. And when it finally opens up, maybe about 1.5 feet, you see that there is a goblin standing there, and he is in kind of loose-fitting armor. It's meant for someone his size. It's just he's a little thin, so obviously the armor was meant for someone a little bit bigger. And he's holding a cutely long spear that is obviously not meant for someone his size.
I knock an arrow. I knock an arrow as soon as I see the goblin.
I step in front of Leo immediately. Hello there, little friend.
Hello.
How are you?
I good.
We passed through here long ago, maybe not so long ago. How long has this been here?
Yeah, so we've been here years. At least one.
Well, that's good. How many can you count to?
And he looks down at his hand, and when he does, he actually goes to count on his hand and drops the spear onto the ground, like not even realizing that he let go of it. And he, let's see, first holds out his thumb, and he's like, one.
So Marm's gonna reach down and pick up the spear and hold it out to him. Hey, don't drop this. You don't want to get in trouble, right?
No, also thank you. He kind of picks up and holds the spear with 2 hands again, placing it in front of him. Like, I'm definitely not going to let go of this now.
So we were hoping to go through to travel to the other side. Is is that possible?
And he kind of looks at you for a second, like he's trying to remember something, and he's like, wait. And again, he spreads his arms out wide, again dropping the spear onto the ground, and says, "Welcome to Castle Thistleback. Please enter." And he kind of gives a very crude two-handed bow as he's kind of trying to usher you past him.
Doran's going to kind of cock an eyebrow and just say under his breath, "Well, this is different."
That it is. And Marm's going to kind of turn sideways and look at Leo and be like, "Put it away. I know he's the size of a child, but he's not."
Leo's just gonna kind of look at Marm and then look at the goblin, throw the arrow back in the quiver, and just kind of mumble under his breath, "Gwitch frackin' fud."
Are you choking on something, Leo? I'm sorry, but all right. Well, so what is your name, little friend? Yes. No.
Hello?
There you go. Puss, if you're there, speak.
Hello?
Jesse.
Okay.
There you are.
I don't think he can hear us.
Oh, son of a bitch.
That's
I accidentally turned my volume down.
Oh.
That'll happen.
Like on the mic, it has the control on the cord. And I must have accidentally brushed the volume. Wow.
This is why you're not allowed to have nice things.
I know. That and I'm poor.
Well,
Anyway, proceed.
All right, so where do we go now?
I guess we go in.
Oh, I was talking to our new friend. What's your name?
My name, Ignak.
Ignak.
Yes.
It's a very dignified name. I like it.
Yes. Guard
Ignak.
of Castle Thistleback.
That is an important post. I am Marmalek. These are my friends. And is there anyone here we can talk to who would be able to help us along the way to find our way through more easily?
And he kind of scratches his head and yes, you talk. Come.
Galen looks at Leo and kind of sidles in close and says under his breath, didn't they kill everybody, back in when we started, like in Breasted and, all those places we found those guys, we killed those goblins, right? I mean, like, what the hell's going on?
Well, if you remember, we don't know how long we've been gone for, really. So, who knows
Yeah.
at this point?
Apparently we left a couple alive and they multiplied like the roaches they are.
That could be. Yeah, I guess we don't know how long we've been gone for either.
Nah.
Well-
Roaches are good. Meat eats roaches. Protein.
Yeah. See, roaches are good. All right, lead the way, Ignak.
And he kind of like turns around and goes, come, follow.
All right, and start to follow.
Well, Marm takes his hood down and walks in regally like a king.
And so once you walk into the building, you can see that it is actually fairly large. It stretches back for quite a distance. and there's still some of the old structure left. You can see a few stone towers that with doorways in them that still survive from the old area, and they've been attempted to have them cleaned, but about 15 feet up. And I should say too that this building is probably, the roof of it's probably about 45 feet up, and it's a pretty open area. Just basically 4 walls and a ceiling, but within the area you see that there are these kind of 3 towers and also a couple of other little walls to create some smaller areas. And so on these stone walls, about 15 feet up or so, they are very dirtied with smoke and dust up top, and you can even see that the flagstone floor that still presides from the last building is still tainted with soot. That despite the fact that it's been cleaned off as best as possible, it still has that slightly grayish black tone to it. And the population within this building, you see that there are actually quite a few goblins going here and there, carrying bags and bushels of various items, and a lot of fruits and grains and things like that. And you also hear kind of a deeper kind of dum, 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 as this large set of footprints of feet you can hear echoing through, and coming around the corner is this large scarred ogre that is actually carrying about 5 bushels where a goblin would struggle with 1. He's carrying 5 of them on his back, just kind of generally going about the random business of the day.
Does the ogre do anything, or the ogre do anything when it comes through?
No, he's just same as the goblins, just kind of going about his business, whatever his particular job right now is. So right now he appears to be playing pack mule.
And again, Dorian's just kind of watching the ogre walk along, and he's just like, huh.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I mean, nobody else in the building pays him mind. All the goblins are just kind of walking right alongside him and passing him, and the same that they are to you. All the goblins and everything seem to see you guys and pay you no mind. It's not that they're ignoring you or anything. It's just that they see you, they acknowledge your presence, and they carry on their business.
Guys, this is my kind of place. If there was a large library here, I think I could stay here for quite a while. I haven't been judged once, unlike every other place we've been to.
Well, why don't you ask our new guide if there's a library? He probably doesn't even know what a book is. Never mind.
Hey, Iggy. Is there a library here with books and scrolls and stuff?
Books and scrolls.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
There is.
Oh, no.
Oh.
There was.
There was?
Yeah, cleans the mess.
What happened?
Yes. Oh, so we found when we first come in, when we's given this great land and these great honor, that this was books and papers and stuff in here, but there's all fire eating.
And Dorian hears this and goes, "Didn't do it."
Huh. So apparently burning libraries is horribly common. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make it so that books don't burn as easily. That'll be my next project after this one. Were there any left over?
Some.
Right. Maybe I'll be able to see them later.
Makes nice warm stuffs.
Oh. All right. So anyway, let's just keep moving.
Yes, you comes. And he kind of picks up his pace a little bit. And he brings you to the other end of the building, around a little bit of corner to this set of very large double doors with this kind of intricate carving of. You actually see that there's angels and celestial beings up top, and then there's this kind of large spoked wheel, and then on the bottom are you see like demons and devils and everything trying to fight their way through. And the doors are kind of opened up a little bit, so there's about a 3-foot gap between them, just so that they're fairly large and fairly cumbersome to open and close constantly. So it looks like they've just kind of left them propped open. And you can even see that you can actually see now through the building, through the doors, that there is this large, probably 4 foot in diameter bell that's kind of just slumped down on the ground. It looks like there was once a structure holding it up, and they have actually added a little flair to it with like a little fence around it. But clearly they were neither strong enough nor engineerically. I just made that up. They had lacked the engineering skills to kind of lift it up and prop it back up onto its holder.
Now, interesting. Is there any writing that I can see from where I am?
No, it actually, other than pictures, there's really no writing either on the walls or on the door itself, and the bell is actually fairly plain, except for if it weren't for the large size of it and the fact that it actually looks like to be made of very high quality bronze. There's really nothing ornate about it.
Would I remember reading anything about any bells that are important or noteworthy?
You have a high religion score, don't you?
I do.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and give it to you then. It's pointless to make you roll for something so low. Bells of this sort are sometimes used, especially in older religious rituals, mainly as a calling to service. Very similar to church bells. Not so much nowadays, but back then, it was a call to, hey, all right, everybody, it's sermon time, gather round, type thing.
Okay. If it's just a everyday thing, you wouldn't pursue it then.
Indeed.
So just continue.
Yeah, they're fairly common. To find one in the middle of a human-built goblin structure, that's a little weird. But who knows what it's left over from? Who knows exactly what sat here before this building did? So.
All right.
So just barely passing the bell, your guard guide now stops and turns back to you and says, he's knock. You knock. And the kings, he talked to you.
He's the king, okay.
Yes. He's the one that gives permissions to people to pass through, and very grandiose like in his gestures. Castle Thistleback. So you talk to him, and he says, okays or no's, you no go.
All right. So where do I knock? Right here?
right, and he kind of like points your hand and goes down a little, down, left. Wait, no, right. There. Wait, no, left. There.
All right. Thank you. And Marm's gonna knock. He'll do 3 times as well.
All right. You're gonna knock 3 times.
Yes.
Very nice. And at that point, your guide runs up right next to you, stands next to the door, and he goes, "Who calls Sea King Rip Nuggets?"
It is I, Marmalek, and my friends. We are travelers who seek passage through Castle Thistleback.
What be your reason wanna see King Rip Nugget?
To request permission to pass through his land freely.
So, okay, hold on. And he just opens the door at that point and walks in. You stay here. He walks in and very quickly closes the door behind him.
Marm looks around like, what was that?
It was I think it was Goblin, right?
Hmm.
He
Oh,
kind
oh.
of smirks a little bit.
Well then. Yes, yeah, good one. Good one.
Oh, did you mean something else?
No. No. That's exactly what I meant. You are on the ball.
Oh, I try.
You must have good balance.
I do. And he hops and he lands on one foot and he kind of like, crane stance. It just kind of balances like that. I mean, and then he'll like do like a cartwheel off of one hand.
Marm just kind of turns away and back towards the door. Like, oh, okay.
At that point, the doors open, and your guide is standing there wide-mouthed, and he's like,
And Galen just does a big mock bow, real deep. Both hands out to the sides. Oh, well, thank you. You approve.
"You's good."
And he'll like turn his back to him and like do like 2 backflips and then spin around in front of him.
If I's had 2 roaches and a mice on me, I'd give them to you.
Ooh, that
Just say thank you.
yeah, that would be wonderful.
So
Maybe next time.
So King say he very, 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 very busy, and he had much work to do. But I told him that there is a tiny man out here, and there are 2 men out here, and that there is a really ugly big blue guy out here. And he said no at first, but then I said no, but you don't understand. The big blue guy, he's really ugly. And at that point, he said, and so he said you can come in, only because he want to see how magnificently ugly you are.
Galen just laughs and laughs.
Oh yeah, this is all in game. Absolutely.
And Marm's just going to kind of slowly lean down closer and closer to our friend Iggy, as he's become to call him. He's like, oh, am I really that ugly? Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's just going to start like nodding his head really obnoxiously, like, yeah, really? Yeah. And he's just going to stand up
And he
try
has
to walk
at this point just has this giant grin on his face.
Marm turns to everyone else and just goes, not a word. And just kind of points towards the door and kind of tries to usher Ignok in.
And so he walks in, and he's like, come, you follow.
And he follows.
And so when you enter, it's actually a really tiny room. Things maybe only like 8 feet wide and maybe 12 feet deep. And he tells you, yo, stop, wait. Hey, you, back, little guy, close door.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. No, come in first, then close door.
Yeah, no, I got it. He
Okay, good.
gingerly steps through and closes the door.
Okay. And then so he turns around and his voice is way too loud for this small area, and he's just yelling at the top of his lungs. Introducing Maimolak and Dian and Leo and Garin. Days request permissions to pass through Castle Tesselberg.
And Galen goes,
Okay, you guys talk now. And you can actually see at this point, now that and it's actually fairly dark in this room. The only thing that's really lighting it are a couple of candles right on either side of the door. So there's really no light on the other side. So once your eyes adjust, actually, Marmalek, you can see the entire time because you have dark vision, so you're good to go. So sitting on a pretty regular wooden chair that is a little too big for him because he's a goblin, but there's also wolf hides that are kind of draped over it to try to make it a little bit more ornate. And he has several different types of weapons placed all around him. None look really used. They look pretty low quality. And sitting in is this kind of rather pudgy goblin with this kind of bent and it probably at one point in time, many generations ago, was a well-quality crown, though now through years of abuse and just general misuse, the crown has now been kind of bent a little bit and worn in areas and just generally not up to scope of a kingly king of sorts. But for a goblin, pretty good. And so you can kind of see now his beady little red eyes cut through the darkness, and he's kind of staring you, and he has this really kind of glaring look on his face, and he's very tight-lipped, and he's just kind of hunched over a little bit, kind of trying to scope you out in his chair, and he stares like that for probably about a good 3 or 4 seconds. So he just stares at you guys.
Marv's going to take 2 steps forward and whip his cloak behind him, exposing his tail, and give this really extravagant, flowery bow and go, the king!
And at that point, he sits back, kind of reeling back in his chair, and he goes, "Wows! You're really ugly."
Galen snickers.
King. But I like to think that I'm just a little different, but we all have our opinions.
Yes. You are definitely. I have never seen anything like you before. You is top notch.
I guess I appreciate that. I've been, I've made sure to look this good for as long as I've been around.
So, what is it that Ice King Ripnugget can do for you?
I'm sorry, King. What was your name again?
King Ripnuggets.
Well, King Rip Nuggets, we were hoping to travel through your passage, and move on to the other side of the mountains. Do you know a way through that would be easy?
Maybe last summer's, maybe fall, winter no good. Other side of pass blocked by snow. Big piles of snow. Oh, so hard. Many shovels needed. Not worth it.
Oh, I think I think we have another way of getting through.
But now after last winters and then the springs, it's no fun. Nobody pass through here in many months.
Is that just because of the snow?
Oh no, snow's gone. Snow's no problem. No, it's orcs that's a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yes, orcs, they mad. Cause people, they come and they be like, hey, we once passed through here, and orcs be like, hey, this our land. But okay, just be gentle. People know gentle, and they go burn. They knock stuff down, and they be like, swords, blood, And so orcs be like, hey, no, and so they fight, and now orcs be like, no, you come no through here. So nobody do.
Marm kind of like looks back at the group and raises his eyebrows like, okay. Is there any other way around, or potential to maybe be diplomatic with the orcs?
Oh, maybe. In the past, many tunnels. Yes, you go many ways through. Many ways through. Yes.
Do you have a map, perchance?
No, nobody break it through. All people try to figure out. Get around the orcs. That's simple. No, all die. Yeah, nobody come back. But many tunnels.
That's good. Guys, what do you think?
Would you come back to this place if he got away?
He come back here? Well, yes, I don't mind it.
Well, who's to say the people traveling through the tunnels died? Maybe they just didn't want to come back here. I wouldn't want to.
Oh, right, because you're a bigot. Okay, I remember now. Yeah. What about the other? What about you, Dorian and Galen?
Well, we have to pass through here. We don't have any other choice.
All right, Dorian, Galen. I'm sorry. I'm so ugly that I'm beautiful here. This is wonderful. Galen.
Yeah, I mean, well, Leo's right. I mean, if they got out, and maybe they wouldn't come back. I mean, we can't go back the way we came, right? I mean, we have to go through. So, What else are we gonna do?
I guess we go through. King Rip Nuggets. Would it be all right with you if we attempted to pass through and go past the orcs?
Oh yes, of course. Castle Thistleback, that's what we've built here for. Yes, peoples, they build us this, and they say, hey, chief, use be here. Use goods people. So you takes people in and saying, hey, you stay here, and then in time, you go through. And so that's what we do here. We help people through. So you wants to go through, we say, sure, go through.
Oh, okay. Well then, I appreciate your support.
Is there? I mean, could you tell us which tunnels that people already went down and didn't come back?
Oh, they's tried. Most people they put a big mark for being like, hey, comes here. I've been down this way. It's safe. Or some people be like, no, big X skulls. Don't come down here. Big. There's a monster. Don't come down. Or like, it's dead end. Don't bother. So sure, that comes sometimes. Yes.
Oh, so it's marked. It's a marked path.
For time, yeah. Until people know come back.
Have a lot of people not come back?
Let's see. There was Fizna and Ignar and Rikita and Belekta and Averin and Bob and
So there's been quite a few.
Oh yes. Many strides go. It's our job. We people's told us, hey, help people through. But if there's no way through, then we know help. So we try to find ways through.
And I look to the rest of the group and I go, what people asked you to help other people through? Other goblins or?
Oh no, it's people.
People
like used to, and he points to Leo and Dorian.
Well, where did the people go?
Oh, they just went through.
Well, were there a lot of people?
Oh, many, yes. Yeah, they come through at least 2 winters ago. Yes, I remember. They come through 2 winters, and yes. But after that, no mores. Some try, little here, there. Overall, though, not many.
So I give the knowing look to the rest of the group, like, is this where all the people went that we never found, kind of thing? Like, I just give them that, like, huh?
Wow. This is interesting.
Well, do you know which tunnels they went through? Maybe those would be the best tunnels for us to try.
In the beginning, they just take the pass. They just go and they say, hey, screw you orcs, we go through your lands, and that's what happened. But then the orcs fight back, and that's when afterwards people have no come through at that point. They've kind of just been here's and there's after that. The orcs they do no good.
And the orcs don't bother you here?
Oh no, they way too far. They days through. They never come through tunnels anyway. They have their own. They have their lands. They stick to them.
Well, do we want to try the path then? If the orcs are far away, it might be safer if people go through the tunnels and don't come back.
Well, how many? Do we have an idea of how many orcs there are? Maybe.
I'm gonna go with more than one.
Gee, you don't say.
Oh,
Very
King Rip Nugget, how many orcs are there?
Oh, many, many. Many more than us.
Can you be more specific?
No. Nobody knows. Orcs, they come down from the mountains and it, if 5 look like 50 and they throw rocks and they come in and hit and then leave and it's bad. The peoples, they call them what the word ham tree bacon bush, no, ambush. They ambush.
Oh, if throwing rocks is their big strategy, I think we'll be fine.
Well, enough rocks could do some damage. What about the tunnels that have been deemed okay? Are there, Rip Nugget, are there any tunnels left that have the symbol that means they're a good tunnel to use?
Oh, yes. Yes, tunnels are fine. Orcs no go in tunnels.
Why don't we just take one of those tunnels through then?
Fine by me.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Rip Nugget, could you show us where one of those tunnels is?
Oh, easy. And he actually, behind him is he kind of swipes away a tapestry that's hanging on the wall, and it reveals this set of double shuttered window. And he opens it up and he goes, comes. Looks. And directing you out of the window, he kind of points down, and he goes, looks down. Looks way down, way down. And you can see that there's probably about 140, 150 feet down is this orchard of different types of trees, and it looks like they're growing some grains and wheat and things like that as well. And it's all within this this narrow but very long ravine all the way at the bottom. And he says, so, goes through farms and in big mouths of a cave and ramp, and it goes up and then down and then up, and that's the entrance to the tunnels. And you go in there, very easy finds.
Alright, how do we get down there?
You take the passage. You guys, peoples built this, because before they get down, just a little hole and you go downstairs. Not very good for horses and things like that. We hate horses anyway, so they make sure that horses can come and go, and no goblins see horses, because they make many mad, but they makes good meat. So yes, you goes down the passages, and then it takes to another passages, and it goes down, and then comes up into our farms.
Alright, where's the passages? Start.
It is outside. You go down. There's snows on it right now. We passages haven't been used for many times. So, but ice have guards take you down to the doors of the passages, and they show you where's to go.
That would be helpful.
is what we do. He's helpful.
Alright, so... You guys want to go to the passages? Go down to the farms?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, might as well.
Alright, so, can you do that then, Rip Nugget? Can you have guards take us to the door to the passages?
Yes, of course. Guard! And he points over to the guard that's been escorting you, and the guy kind of gives a startled, so he wasn't even paying attention at that point. He was kind of picking some lint and stuff out of the middle of his fingers. And so he kind of stands up straight and gives a salute, and he goes, and so Rip Nugget says, give them downs to the passage, and clean it off, and then open the door and let them through. He goes, yes, sir. He goes, my Mizalek follows me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow him.
Is that me?
Yes, you, Marielek.
Oh, right, yes. Thank you. And so he'll start to follow him, just kind of shaking his head.
And you just hear King Rick Nubby in the back go, safe passages! Watches out for the orcs! And so the guard will lead you back through the building and out the front door and down the staircase again. And he walks probably about 20 or so feet along the side of the rock face, and starts to kind of wipe it away a little bit and goes, Doris, here I think is give me a second. And he starts wiping away all the snow and everything. And it takes him probably about a minute until he finally reveals this set of the doors are probably about 12 feet high and about 8 feet wide. And he says, here's as they are. This is the doors to the passages.
Okay.
They know lock, no nothing like that. But me's no open.
Can we open?
Not in me's jobs descriptions. But yes, use please open.
I'm just gonna try to open the door then.
It's kind of stuck a little bit because it's swollen from the cold and everything, but with a couple of nice pulls, it eventually does open up.
Alright, I'm gonna walk through into the passages.
All right. And so as you do, the guard, he's just kind of standing there and giving at attention and kind of saluting every one of you that walks by him. And in the passage itself, it is totally pitch black. There's not a single sight of torch or lantern or anything to be seen.
Well,
You guys coming?
yeah, but seeing as how there's no light, I'm actually going to arm my shield and cast light on it.
Ooh, fancy. So you have light. So once you guys walk in, the first part of this, probably about the first 15 or so feet, is rather crude in terms of its design. It's basically just a rough tunnel that looks like it's been carved into the rock. However, after that, it looks like it breaks into a pre-existing structure that's underneath the mountain. A probably 8x9, very square, very well structured tunnel starts to run down, and that goes for probably about 20 feet and then turns off to the right. And you can also see that in this initial tunnel, there are kind of small cul-de-sacs
that are only maybe 4 feet wide and about 8 feet deep. But all told, it's about 7 of them, and they're all very cleared out at this point. They're dusty and there's kind of cobwebs and things like that on them, but they're empty. Other than that,
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk right past them then, since they're empty.
all right. So the tunnel, like I said, goes down, bears right. Then it kind of starts to turn a little bit to the left, straightens out a little bit more. You can see that there are a couple of passages that kind of lead off, but just taking a general glance down them, you can see that they go down for a few feet at most, maybe 8 feet, but then end in a dead end. And you pass a couple of these before the tunnel now begins to kind of wind its way down. And after a few dozen feet, you realize that it's actually kind of spiraling downwards.
Well, down's where we want to go, so I'm just going to keep following it.
All right. And now this spirals down. You feel that you go through probably a few spirals, and there is one last passageway off to the side before it finally It keeps on going down and down and down. All told, you're probably in this passageway for about 45 minutes. Until it finally breaks out of the base of this into this ravine, and you see the farmlands that the goblins have cultivated.
Did that spirally piece seem familiar at all?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
26.
Yes, very familiar.
As we were going down, could I kind of stop and try to remember? Pretty sure that was where we had died. So if there was that one jut off, I would want to go and look at the room and be like, "Son of a bitch," and see if there was anything left over there or anything.
So if you do look, I believe that there are some backpacks within the room, but they've kind of collected dust and bugs and everything have kind of settled into them, and whatever was contained within them has now gone to rot. There's one set of robes on the ground that has been all moth-ridden, and the color and everything has kind of drained from it a little bit. But other than that, there's nothing extra in the room, other than what I'm guessing you remember of it being the giant 20-foot circular room with all the carvings on the walls and that brass disc in the middle of the room.
Is any of our old stuff still there?
No, other than the like I said, the packs that have now kind of gone to waste. There's nothing in the room.
Huh. Yeah, guys, what did we say last time we were here? Just for old time's sake. Do you remember?
I think one of us asked if you were sure if you wanted to go through again.
No,
second time.
Before that, to get it going. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah. All right.
Son of a bitch! This is the place, though, huh?
It is. Look, and he's gonna point at the tattered cloak. He's like, "Remember how pretty I was in that? They never would have made fun of me upstairs."
Probably not.
definitely not. And
Hey,
I'm
is
just
your
gonna. Huh?
is your bag here? You know that creepy fucking thing that you tried to stuff me into? Did you see that anywhere?
I think it must have been one of these ones, but
Remember, the bag actually.
exactly.
Yeah.
The
As long
chomper
as you-
came out
yeah.
of it.
Yep.
Yep.
I just wasn't sure if you remembered or not.
No, I remember. Because Chomper just kind of went meh and then left.
Yeah, you did.
No, I remember.
Oh, you remember? Okay.
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if we saw him before we died or not.
No, that was kind of an afterword thing.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. All right, well, Marv's just gonna kind of like pick up his old bag and his old robe, shake it, and then throw it into the corner and be like, "Yeah, there's nothing here." All right, and then continue on.
All right.
Galen kind of involuntarily shudders as we're leaving the room, like it's like, oh, it's fucking creepy.
Like, I fucking died here.
Dorian actually pauses for a moment, just kind of staring at the disc in the middle.
Nice.
All right,
Leo just kind of fingers the hilt of his sword absently.
Giggity.
Giggity, giggity.
All right. So once exiting the room, you make your ways down the rest of the spiral until, like I said, eventually it exits out into the base of the ravine with the farmlands. And you can even see that down here there are a handful of goblins kind of working the lands, and there's actually a few more ogres down here doing kind of more of the hard work. Where oxen would be used, substitute ogre, basically.
well, that is a good use of resources if I have ever seen it.
Well, how do they get stuff to grow in the tunnel? Like there's no sun.
I don't know. I don't really have too much of a green thumb.
Oh, I just wonder. It seems kind of weird. Does it look like it's more like cave fungus and things that they're growing, or is it like they have wheat? And
Oh no, they have wheat. They have a small apple orchard. They have some bushes that look like to be strawberries or something like that. They have regular, pretty decent produce actually.
Well, are we like in a tunnel
Oh
cave, or like are we like in under like the open sky right now?
no! Oh yeah, you're in the open sky.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just a 200-foot deep ravine, but
I got you. I misunderstood.
Freaking dog stole my seat.
jerk.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna start making my way through the orchard
All right,
towards
very
the
nice.
tunnels.
All right. So you walk through this area, and you get kind of there is a path that leads through it, because like you said, the people did come through here at one point, so it is meant to be allowed for travel, and so there are. Following the path that runs pretty straight through this farmland. Eventually, you guys do come to a small mouth of a cave. And, you can actually see the light on the other side. It's not that big of a travel, really. And so that goes maybe 200 yards or so. And then opens up to another small ravine that's much more narrow than the last one, and probably about 100 feet or so on the other side you can see this large dirt ramp that goes up maybe about 60 or 65 feet to the mouth of a short but very wide cave entrance.
All right. So, looks like this is where what you're talking about for the cave system.
So it would seem.
Well, shall we press on?
That's really the only way to go.
That it is.
All right.
I will lead the way then. I guess
All right.
I can see better than any of you.
Well, you do have Dorian's light shield right now.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
well,
that's still going.
Oh yeah, I renew it every time it starts to blink out.
There you go.
so I'll walk in front of you guys so it doesn't blind me.
There you go. I imagine it like a bulb that's starting to kind of give out, and then you just kind of tap your shield again, and it lights up.
It's like, knock it off. Stop it.
All right. So you guys enter this tunnel, and almost immediately it begins to kind of bend a little bit to the left. And this tunnel is pretty rough, and it's also kind of small. It's maybe only about 8 feet tall, about 6 feet wide at the max. But looking at the ground, it's very worn. So while the walls and ceiling and everything are really rough, the ground is definitely well traveled. So the tunnel immediately begins to kind of bear slightly to the left until after probably about an hour's worth of walking, you come to your first decision. There is a split, and it forks off either to the right or to the left. And you do see that there are kind of various sets of markings, all on the right tunnel, though. You first see an arrow that's kind of been carved into the rock, and then that's kind of been crossed out, and another arrow and then another arrow that's now been painted on, and then a skull has been drawn over that, and then another arrow that has been drawn kind of up and a little bit to the right, but then that's kind of been rubbed out a little bit.
What do you guys think?
I think it's a 50-50. Could be good, could be bad.
It looks like a couple of people have tried it. I mean, they marked it and then remarked it, and the goblin upstairs was incompetent as all get out. I mean, we could probably take whatever's going on down here. I mean, wouldn't you think?
Well, assuming we don't run into an entire colony of orcs.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, but they looked really stupid.
Boost, can I tell which direction the two tunnels lead? Like north, south, east, or west?
Who's?
Oh, he said be right back.
Ah,
Damn
bastard.
it. One totally leads north and one leads southwest.
Which one do you take?
North. That's the way we're going.
True. Doesn't mean it's where we're going to end up, though.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take my chances. Who knows, maybe I'll actually get to shoot something with this new bow. Maybe somebody won't destroy it.
Hey, maybe You should use it for what it's actually intended for.
Yes, and not as a flare piece for peacocking for the ladies.
Whatever, dude. It looked badass with that freaking raven skull in it.
I'm not disputing that. I'm sure it is.
I think we all actually agree with that point. It's just that it needed to be sacrificed for the greater good.
For the greater good. I love when they kick the old lady in the face. What the hell's Booze? Alright, so what are the chances it's a kid or bathroom break?
I would
guess
assume
both.
probably kid.
Like a kid's bathroom break?
That's what I was thinking, actually.
I think you might be right. Let's hope he doesn't fall asleep while pooping.
Oh, Jesus.
That's unfortunate.
That would suck. Wake up, your legs are all numb. Pain in the
Ass
ass.
in the toilet.
Such a pain.
I actually had an episode like that on Scrubs once.
That's like a first world problem if I've ever heard one. God, I hate when I'm pooping. I hate when I'm reading so much that I forget that I'm pooping and my legs fall asleep.
Huh. So, how's everybody doing?
Okay. Hey, I actually talked to Jesse yesterday, so
Oh.
I just wanted to say that it was really cool to get a chance to, hang out with you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming up or up there in Providence.
Dude, no, just to put this out there, you had a bit of a longer trip than us.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I know, but still. I mean,
But yeah, no, it was pretty cool to just like hang out. It was a
Seriously.
fun time,
definitely.
and that bar was actually pretty nice.
It was, yeah.
I spent a lot of time over there.
And you guys introduced us to some pretty awesome tasting beer.
It was good. They're actually swapping that out for something else in the next couple of weeks here.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what the other one was.
So is it a seasonal beer or like?
I'm not sure exactly. I don't think it was strictly for the convention. But I'm not sure because she was like, oh, well, because I was like, hey, can I pick up a 6-pack of this thing somewhere? And they were like, well, if you can get it, because we're rolling out whatever the new thing is. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can. But and then it was too late, and it's like, it's not like I could take it home with me.
True.
Going into Saturday, I wasn't drinking. The cans are tall, they're like monster cans. They're big.
Oh wow.
I'm not going to drink 6 of those tonight, so I'll just skip it. That wouldn't have been a good thing.
True.
Well, we almost got him back. And freaking Kelly actually picked up. It was like chocolate pumpkin beer.
Really?
It was delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it would be good.
Holy shit, it was delicious. I don't know if she picked it up tonight or she's gonna pick it up tomorrow before we play. But they also had chocolate peanut butter beer,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to try that shit because those are like the best 2 flavors in the world. So I'm totally trying that shit.
So
It's
it's
so
Reese's
delicious.
peanut butter cup beer.
Right? how much better could you get in a beer can? Like,
Watch it be like the most disgusting thing you've ever had.
I told her to pick up 2 6-packs. Like, I'm thinking she's probably, if she picked them up, I don't even know if she picked them up tonight while I was at work or not, but I'd guess she probably picked up a 6-pack of that chocolate pumpkin and then a 6-pack of the peanut butter. That'd be pretty friggin' sweet. 'Cause that chocolate pumpkin was delicious.
It sounds it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already out of the walking boot.
Nice.
I'm in a brace now, which is awesome.
So did they determine it was like just a sprain or a pull or?
I have a small fracture on one of the bones on the top of my foot,
Mhm.
and then the rest is just like bruising and ligament pullage and shit, ligament tweakage on like the outside and inside of my foot.
Okay. So nothing like surgery or cast worthy.
Oh God, no.
Nice.
No, I mean a break in your foot is basically like spraining it. You just tape it and you're fine. But yeah, no, like I have bruising like all over my foot. Looks like I've been like walking on Legos or some shit.
Would you want to kick in a chair or something?
No, I was actually last Saturday morning before we went to the beer fest, Kelly was asleep, so I was like, you know what? While she's asleep, I'll take the dog for a hike. That way he'll be nice and tired for the beer fest, and we don't have to. He'll just sleep the whole time we're gone and everything. So I just went down the street to the same park that I've been going to, that I went to literally every single day last week, and I was trail running with him, and he sprinted to go to the same stream as always, and I sprinted to go to the bridge that goes across the stream, and hit a root or a rock or a hole or something, and just my whole foot, like the right side of my foot, hit the ground because I rolled it so hard.
Oof.
And took a step with my left foot, took a step with my right foot, couldn't support it, so quickly took another step with my left foot, found out that the wooden bridge was really wet after all the rain, and just like slid down onto my ass, and then I could barely put any weight on my right foot, so I like hobbled my ass I think it's like 3/4 of a mile back to the car. And then got home, walked the dog because he needed to go out. Came inside, sat down on the couch, put the recliner up, sat there with the dog for like an hour and a half, waited for Kelly to wake up. She finally woke up, and I was like, "Does my ankle look swollen to you?" He's like, yeah, it looks really swollen." I'm like, yeah, I think I broke my foot. You might have to take me to the doctor's. And she gave me a ration of shit for waiting so long to tell her. But she needed to sleep, so it was literally like, I think it was like almost 2 hours between the time I broke it and the time I actually saw a doctor.
That's not too bad.
So, yeah, no, the other night, I think, what's today, Thursday? I think it was Tuesday night, Kelly and I were sitting on the couch, and she's like, "It looks like you have like two different people's feet." The right one was like twice the size as the other one.
Men size 9 foot, children size 6 foot. At your service.
I mean, maybe I should start like celebrating Hanukkah. But yeah, it didn't even slow me down. Freaking went to the beer fest, got shit faced, and then freaking went to work on Sunday. Like, it was nothing. It's a broken foot. Can't
He's
really
not
do
lying.
much.
He was hobbling around like a champion. I swear to God, he consumed twice as much beer as any of the other of us.
I did. I totally did.
He was like, "Oh, you guys want to wait in line for the bathroom? Okay, I'm gonna drink 3 more beers. You know what? No, it's gonna be 4 more. Hey, you guys want to wait for the bacon truck? 8 more beers. Hold on. Wait. That's 12 now. I made friends with the guy over there. He gave me a double because I have a broken foot. So ha ha.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Dude, the
Thanks.
guy at the Cape Cod booth, by the time we left, I would just walk up, I'd be like 5 feet away, and he'd be pouring a red to give to me. It was awesome. I went back to that guy like 10 times.
Alright, please tell me they had like an organic vegetable truck there.
Negative.
No,
they had
not
halal.
so.
Those ones are hysterical because there's never anyone in line.
They had the Middle Eastern halal truck, so it had chicken and then vegetables, and like curry and rice.
I hear a baby.
No, you don't.
Oh, you're back. Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Everything all right? Jamie being a pain in the ass?
Yeah, she is.
How did I know it was going to be her?
Mm-hmm.
So do you now have her like on your lap while we play?
Yeah, I'm holding her, rocking her,
Yeah,
Whatever works.
multitasking.
Yay.
Hopefully she won't cry directly into the mic.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. At the most, you'll just probably hear her puggish, deep breathing.
Dude, you could use that as like atmosphere. Like as you're walking through the tunnel, suddenly you hear this, and you just put the mic up to her. Like, oh, holy shit! I knock an arrow. What the fuck is that?
Is that like a bubbling, gurgling swamp or something?
In a cave system. How does that happen?
Totally doable. Condensation.
I think I hear a bullet.
All right, so which way did you guys decide to go?
I actually, before we realized that you were gone, I asked, can I tell which direction each of the two tunnels goes, like north, south, east, west?
The tunnel to the left goes west. The tunnel to the right goes north.
I vote for the one to the north.
Alrighty.
Anybody else want to weigh in?
No, I'm good.
Alright, I'm gonna so yeah, I take point. I'm just gonna walk the north one.
Very nice. All right. So you start to travel through this one, and it travels for probably about a half hour or so, and then ends up actually connecting to another tunnel that looks like it's kind of coming from behind you almost. So it's like the two tongs of this fork join up to you. And the tunnel continues on in a kind of northeasterly direction, kind of winding through, curving here and there slightly, but basically meandering in the same exact direction the entire time, until after a couple of hours bears a very sharp right turn east. You travel that for probably about another hour, and then it bends horrifically in almost a 100-degree angle, pointing you back kind of northwest. And once you walk that for about 15 minutes or so, you come to your next decision, which is another forked area. This time, there is one path that kind of continues along the same basic route that you were going, or another one that juts off to the east. This time, however, there are markings on both of them, and both of them just have kind of whitish yellow circles.
I vote for the north one again.
Just keep heading north.
That's what I'm thinking. That's where we gotta go.
Works for me.
Sure. Yeah, you can tell that it's north.
Good. I
Okay.
can always tell.
Well, if you say so.
It's my thing.
All right, Leo. All right, that's it's your thing.
Alright. So I'm gonna start walking down the north one.
All right, very nice. So this one starts to take you northwest and then slowly curves more towards north, and then eventually kind of finishes its arc, flattening out into a little bit of a large cavern. This has a passageway that bears off to the west, and another one straight across that continues north. The passageway to the west has a circle with a red X inside it, and then the north passage originally had a circle and then an arrow. However, those have both been scratched out, and this very crude face, it's kind of a holy crap, why can't I remember the name of the word? A circle that's been stretched a little bit.
Oval.
Oval, fucking Christ. It's like an oval with like these two really angry eyes, and then a tusked mouth has been drawn in red underneath the arrow.
All right, so looks like we either go down the tunnel that definitely says we shouldn't go down, judging by that red X, or we go meet some orcs.
Well, it's kind of confusing though. So if it's orcs in one direction, what's down the other tunnel that we shouldn't go down?
I'm thinking it might be a dead end, and that's what the X means. And anybody else?
That makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
So, do we want to check out the red X before fighting the orcs, or do we just want to take our chances with the orcs? Maybe we can sneak past. You're stealthy, Dorian.
And again, just like looking at Leo and cocking an eyebrow like smartass. Well, either way, we're facing some sort of unknown, but at least with the orcs, we know exactly what we're facing. Not necessarily how many or in what circumstance it'll be, but we know we can kill orcs.
And it's still heading north, which is where we want to go.
Indeed. So I'd much rather forego exploring to actually have, definitive forward progress.
And Galen?
Yeah, I mean, let's go kill something, I guess. Right, if it's taking us where we're going.
Well, I mean, if it's their time, it's their time. So, alright, let's go. And I'm going to head north.
All right, very nice. So you guys take the northern passage, and you walk for probably about 45 minutes or so, and you come to a T-junction. Now you have a choice of left or right. The right passage has no markings. You notice that the passage that you're coming from actually does have a marking, which is a circle. And then the passage off to the left has the same crude, angry, tusked face.
Alright, well, I say we go left. Because he said that the orcs are the way to get through the mountains, and we want to get through the mountains.
Yeah, that works for me.
Alright, so I'm going left.
Very nice. All right. So you take the left passage, and this goes on for probably about a mile or so until it eventually very quickly opens up into this giant ravine. The walls, or rather cliffs if you want, stretch all the way up until they are out of sight. The cloud cover, be it that that you're rather high up or that the clouds are running low, but in either case, the cliffs go up past the clouds to the point where you can't even really see exactly how high they go. The ground that you're on is this rolling kind of hillside, though it's fairly low. It's more of a royal than giant hills, and there is no grass to speak of, but it is very plush and green, as pretty much the entire thing has a moss covering to it. Coming out of the tunnel, you do see, while moss has begun to grow anew in this area, there is still a very clear path that runs pretty much straight north with a little bit of an eastern tilt to it.
Before we continue on, I just have one quick question. What would be the cal drop factor of those cliffs?
Innumerable.
Like right about like 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is no way to say. There is no way to tell exactly how high they are, but you can figure that you can see for at least a couple miles up.
Okay. That we probably shouldn't, since we don't have any rope. We shouldn't really.
It's almost impossible to. You can tell that if you probably get maybe 50 feet up, it's going to be a slippery fact if you can even get that high.
Okay. All right. Just wondered. I'm gonna start walking down the path.
Have we seen anybody since we left like the farm area, or no?
Not a soul.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Do I see any like recent footprints on these paths? On this path that I'm walking?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ooh, I can do that, and I had a lot for tracking. 28.
Did I turn my volume down again by accident?
Probably.
All right. What'd you roll again? No, I did actually.
28
Oh, holy crap! Yeah,
for tracking.
very nice. So
my
you do
specialty.
see it is. So you do see tracks. You see boot prints and hoof tracks. So of both oxen and horse. However, these tracks look incredibly old. It doesn't look like anything has passed down this way in quite a long time.
Do I see any orc tracks
You
at
do
all?
not.
Okay, then screw it. I'm just gonna push on then. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going, but I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out. You know, I'm gonna be scanning the cliff faces, make sure we're not walking into an ambush and all that jazz.
Very nice. All right. So, as you're walking, like I said, very quickly this place opens up to the point where it is several miles across. You can still pretty much see either side of it, but you can tell that it goes on for at least 4 to 5 miles to either side of you. And it takes you probably a few hours to travel across this small area. And after about half that time, you can see that the walls of the ravine are slowly beginning to funnel back down towards you. And as you kind of come up to this one part where it looks like the ravine kind of takes a little bit of a turn, and there's almost a bottleneck area where maybe it's a mile and a half wide at the most. You can see off in the distance, you can probably see about a few miles ahead of you that there is a structure that spans from one side of the ravine to the next. And it's in that bottleneck area of that mile and a half or so.
Is it more like a wall? Does it look just like a wall that's all the way across?
It does look like a wall that goes all the way across, yes.
From this distance, can I see any openings in the wall?
No, not from here.
Alright, I'm going to keep going. Can I see any movement along the wall?
You cannot, not from this distance. Plus, because of the cloud coverage and everything like that, it's a pretty, not necessarily a low light situation, but it's fairly dim.
Okay. Alright, then yeah, I'm going to keep going.
All right. So you go on for probably another half hour or so, and eventually the wall begins to come into view a little bit more. And now you realize that this is actually a fairly large structure. At this point now, the moss and everything for probably about at least a couple hundred yards around this area is completely gone. And the wall itself, like I said, spans from one side of the ravine to the next, and it stands probably about 65 to 70 feet tall. It's made out of the very same stone that the ravine is composed of, and there's large stone bricks that have been crafted and stacked upon to form the wall. Why don't you go ahead, whoever wants to, go ahead and give me a perception check.
19.
19 as well.
Oh, let me see. It's going to be high. I rolled 13.
Oh, nice.
Find the damn sheet here. 23.
Nice.
Nice.
Not paying attention.
All right.
We're not in like a forest, are we?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So.
All right. So all of you can see that actually there is a gate, probably a little bit, couple hundred yards or so off to the side of you. This giant iron gate set into the wall, and it's very thick, sturdy bars and these giant hinges that you can see hold this thing up. In total, the gate probably stands about 30 feet tall, almost half the height of the wall itself, and it has these kind of gnarly spikes that point out of it. And as you look to the wall itself, as you start to get a little closer, has these giant iron protrusions off of the top. And there's even items that are hung upon the wall, just kind of jammed in with giant spikes here and there. And you actually can see now that there's shields of various design, anything from small bucklers to kites to giant tower shields, all different colors and insignias and everything that have been plastered up against the wall, running almost the entire length of it. Nothing that clutters it up, just here and there, as well as weapons and stuff that have been hung up, and pieces of armor as well. You see, worn leather buttresses and shoulder pads, and even giant, chest plates and everything like that have been hung up on the wall. Galen.
Yes.
You actually are able to pick out just a wee bit more on this. You are able to actually see the designs and everything that hang upon the shields of the wall. And some of them actually look familiar to you. Some of these are house insignias that you have come across during your travels through Skaldurna.
Okay, so I kind of pause and I squint a little bit more, and I'm looking to try to see if I could pick some of them out.
All right, and it's not not anything too important per se that you've run across. It's more so every once in a while if you come across a farmland or someone who's counseled in a town, any kind of older family or anybody that's even fought for the military to show sign of the family has this. So you see sometimes like a stag's head with an arrow going through it, and there's even one that has kind of this tree that has it's kind of double-sided so that you see the tree up on top and then like the curled roots underneath it. One that has 3 swords pointing down. Just general insignia.
Okay, so I'll pass that information along. Does it look like they're arranged in any particular sort of pattern?
No, it just looks like they're kind of, all of them have that, just an iron spike or something driven through them to hold them up to the wall, but there's really no pattern or anything to it.
Okay, so I pointed out and I say, it looks like maybe as it seems like people were fleeing in this direction. Um, Maybe they posted these shields up here. Like, look, you can see the tree and the swords pointing down at this one is this one and this one is that one, and maybe they're kind of marking the way, or letting people know that are coming up behind, like, hey, we're okay, we went this way. I mean, it could be a good sign, right? I mean, at least when they came through, everything was okay. I mean, we don't know how long that's been. I mean, it seems like, I don't want to say major houses, but, all the, major houses that have come through all left their mark here on the way.
Oh, okay. We can go with that aspect of it.
Do you have another idea? You don't sound convinced.
I think, honestly, it sounds like it's more of a warning that we've taken these shields and these weapons and armor from the people we have killed and put them on the wall.
And Galen's face just kind of drops. He's like, oh. Yeah, well,
I mean,
maybe.
why would you leave your shield behind, or your weapon, or your armor, if you're still in need of it?
Well, I mean, they're going to, lose people on the way, right? I mean, they probably have extra stuff. I mean, if they were fleeing anyway, I mean, I don't know.
Alright, well, I mean, hell, this is the way we gotta go anyway, so why don't you go knock on the door and see if they'll let you in?
Wait, what? I mean...
I think you'd be the perfect person to go knock on the door. You're the smallest target, and we can keep you covered from back here.
Yeah.
I am much too ugly.
Well, I guess so. And they'll just kind of stand there and stare, not make any movement to actually move forward. So, then you want me to go, like, now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, just be ready to shoot something if this doesn't go very well.
Yeah, you know me. I'm not gonna knock an arrow.
Galen looks nonplussed and just kind of starts forward. How far are we from the doors now?
Probably a couple 100 yards.
Okay,
You can always make a way. You can make it closer as a group if you'd like. It's up to you.
So I'll take a couple of steps in and I'll stop and be like, well, come on, like a little ways, right? You can't even hit anything from here.
Well, yeah, no, I'm gonna like follow him up.
Yeah, and I'll stay about 15 feet or so behind him. Consistently.
All right. So you approach the gates, and when's the rest of the group going to leave Galen behind so he can make his trek up towards it? How much distance are you going to lay?
Probably like 50 feet.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Not bad.
As we approach that critical distance, take another look and see, like, are there any, like, joints or cracks or anything? Like, do we see anything moving? Is there, like, there's no fires anywhere, or windows that have camouflaged in the wall or anything like that?
No, this is actually a pretty straightforward, just giant solid wall. There's cracks here and there, just from where stones don't fit exactly perfectly together.
Sure.
But other than that, there's no windows and no nothing. The only opening seems to be this gate.
Okie doke. Well, he'll take one last wistful look back at the party and kind of like head down a little bit, shoulders kind of shrugged, just mosey on up towards the door.
All right, and I'll tell you too. Actually, as you get a little bit closer to the gate now, from the distance you're at, you can pretty much be a good judge of size. And now, like I said, the gate is probably about 30 feet high and probably about 15 or so feet wide. And while it does have those giant, thick iron bars with the spikes pointing out of it and everything like that, it actually looks like pretty much the only thing this gate would keep out would be a horse or some type of large animal. The bars are actually probably about 1.5 feet wide. Separated. So it looks like even somebody, Dorian size could, kind of with ease squeeze through them.
Okay. So is there any light coming from within, like past the gate, or is it just...
Why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check as you pretty much get up to the gate.
You betcha. That's 15.
All right. So once you start to really get up to the gate, and while it is already kind of a dim light situation, especially with the cloud cover and with time kind of going on, it's getting really late in the day. So your light's already kind of starting to fade. However, you can see off in the far distance tiny little spots of light, and you actually do see that there are structures pretty far off, probably at least kind of a 1/4 mile or so past the wall, and you can see large buildings and such that are structured.
But nobody moving around right by nobody's protecting the gate then?
Nope.
All right, so I'll look in and I'll look back and, just kind of, I'll stay there and I'll wave them up. Like, hands down, like, be quiet, but come here.
Well, seeing as how I'm the loudest of the three, I'm going to try to, as quietly as possible, move my way up to Galen.
Squeak. Squeak. Squeak.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like walk next to Dorian. Not even like trying to stealth. I'm still gonna be quieter than him.
Yeah, more than likely. Oh, what do I want to give for my tessellated full plate?
My base stealth is a plus 14, so we'll just go with that.
Yeah, you're good. You're fine.
How about Marmalak?
I'm gonna go up to. What was the question? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if I can communicate with Orc or not.
Very nice. Yeah. So basically, are you following the rest of the group up to the door to the gate?
Yeah, I was only about 15 feet away from from Galen when he.
Oh, so you stayed that distance the entire time. Okay.
Yeah.
That works. Very nice. All right. So yeah, the rest of the group kind of saddles on up around you.
And I, so as they get closer, I'm, kind of point through the bars, and I'm like, there's buildings out there. I know it's getting dark now. It might be, maybe Marm can see, but there's some buildings that look like maybe there was a couple of fires, and look how big these bars are. Like, we could just walk right through here. I mean, this is gonna keep anything out. I mean, keep out a horse or like maybe an ogre or something like that. But we could just cruise right on through here. I mean, they don't seem too concerned about anyone getting in. I guess there's no guard.
All right, then let's just go.
And we should probably go, as stealthy as possible. And I look at Dorian, but they don't seem overly concerned. I mean, we don't want to startle anybody. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'll do the best I can, but I make no promises.
Well, maybe it would be okay if they heard you. I mean, maybe if we snuck in, maybe that'd be worse. I mean, I'm not saying we should go in singing, drinking songs, but maybe we should just cruise right up the road.
Well, you know what? I think it's better to err on the side of caution. Let's at least make an attempt at being stealthy.
I mean, if you guys want, if we want to be a bit more stealthy, we could always stick together, and I could, make that little fog bank again. We could, as long as we can see, we could move with it. But we'll see once we get in there, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's get up a little bit closer and see what we can see.
All right.
All right, so you guys are then choosing to go onto the other side of the wall.
Through the bars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in that case, the group of you skirt your way through the bars, making your way onto the other side of the wall. And we'll go ahead and end it there for now.
Of course you will. Before we all turn into pincushions.
Yeah.
Yay.
Maybe now Leo will know what it feels like.
Oh,
Nah, I'm just gonna hide behind you.
nice.
You went first, didn't you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you're more than welcome to hide behind me after they shoot 10 arrows in you, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Alright, well, I am gonna log since I gotta be up in like 5 hours.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, same
So-
here. I'm holding a baby, so I should probably log out too.
Yeah. Alright, well,
Alright, guys.
good night, all.
All right, you
Have a
guys
good
have a good night.